Hello everybody, welcome back to another Python coding tutorial. This video is the first functions practice video we're going to do where we're going to create a function that converts feet to inches. I have the instructions that we're going to follow for this program typed out over here, so I'm going to read those and then we can determine exactly what it is that we need to do when we're writing the program. So those say to create a program that asks the user to input a number of feet and your program will output the total number of inches. You must create a function called feet to inches that accepts a value of feet as an input parameter and returns the value in inches. There should not be any global variables. The main function will ask for input and call this function, receive the return, and display the results. Now that we've read those instructions, we can begin writing the program. So as you guys know, as always, I'd like to start with a statement telling the user what the program's going to be doing, as well as one telling them what information they're going to need to enter. So I'm going to say print, this program will convert a total number of feet to inches. Then I want to print, you will need to enter the total number of feet. Now letting the user know what the program's going to be doing and what information they're going to need to enter is just a good coding practice so that you don't jump in immediately asking them for any input or anything. Okay, so now what we can do is we can create our first function. So the way that we do that is we're going to say def main, and this is going to be our main function. So now all of our main code is going to go inside of this function. All right, and there we see it indents for us, and now I can begin asking the user for some input inside of here. So I'm going to say total feet, which is going to be our variable and the total feet for the program. And then I want to get a float because we don't really know if it's going to be a whole number or not. Input, please enter the total number of feet. Okay, so once we get that total number of feet, we're going to want to convert that into inches. However, we are going to need to create a new function called feet to inches that's going to do the conversion. But for now, what we're going to do is we're just going to say inches equals feet to inches, which is where we're calling our function. And then the input parameter is going to be total feet. Okay, so now what I want to do is the final print statement, which is going to be print. I'm going to use an F string here to do this. And then I'm going to say the total number of inches are, and we're going to say inches to 1 decimal point. Oops, 0.1 F inches. Okay, so that's everything that we need inside of our main function. And that's going to call the function, receive the return, and display the results, like it said up here in the instructions. Okay, so now we can create our program feet to inches. So I'm going to move down a couple lines and I'm going to say def feet underscore to underscore inches, and then allow for one parameter here, and that's going to be the feet. I'm going to call it. So I'm calling it something else than total feet to avoid any confusion. Okay, so then in here we can say inches equals feet that's passed in times 12, because that's a conversion for to get feet into inches. And then all we want to do inside of this function is now return that inches. Okay, so very simple program so far. All we're really doing is practicing creating these mini functions and then just calling them and returning some input here and then printing it. Okay, so the last thing that we need to do for this program is we need to actually call the main function. You might notice that we defined the main, but we never actually called it. And without calling our main function, none of our program will execute besides these two print statements up here. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to say if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals main. Then we want to call the main. And what this little if statement down here does is that it makes sure that we're calling the correct main function that we want to call and not a different one. Okay, so that should be it for the program. And the last thing that I want to do is run the program and make sure that our output looks neat and everything runs correctly. So I'm going to hit run. Okay, so we got the nice introduction here, and then please enter the total number of feet. I'm going to go ahead and say 10. Okay, and then 120. Perfect. That's exactly what we want the program to look like, and everything runs nice and neat and works correctly. Okay, so that's going to be it for this program, and that's going to be it for this video then. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. This was our first functions practice video, and stay tuned. I'm going to have more Python coding practices and tutorials coming out soon. So if you enjoyed this one, be sure to watch those. Thank you for watching.